literally. We have Octane Esports, U18, their squad going at it against Houston Spartans, U18. These two teams excited to get it going. I'm going to see Houston Spartans, expecting them to come out with a bang. They are the higher seeded team coming into this week, so expecting them to probably come out on top here. But I would love to see Octane. I'm always here for a bang out. Give me a map 5, give me a round 11. Let's see if Octane can make this happen. But starting off this map 1, already 6 points on the board. Houston Spartans getting it early.
Yeah, it's been a slow P1. I mean, that's how it usually goes on a lot of these maps. Everybody fighting for positioning, especially for the rotation. And it's been pretty much Octane has been doing a good job of holding that. They've had that anchor player. I think it's been Cobra, or off spawns. It's been Wharf. They've just been sitting back there making sure. But the problem is they've lost all their gunfights on the front side of the P1. So even though they've had these spawns for this next rotation, they have just been pinned back here. It allowed Houston to get a couple players up. Ascent was one of them, but he unfortunately falls. The splits roll through. Octane, they do a great job of recovering off the spawn outs, and this P2 is theirs to start off with it. And they did honestly a phenomenal job for only allowing Houston to get 20 points off P1 dash.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You mentioned it. They did a phenomenal job getting only 20 points on that and trying to make sure that they can try and maintain and chip away at this lead just a little bit going into this P2 hill. You mentioned it, though, as we say that Houston Spartans do break in. And I would like to mention Ascent, that he is a newer player coming on board for the Houston Spartans here. A very, very young player. I believe somewhere of the age of like 11, maybe even 12 years old. One of those, he was one of those kids. I'm not too sure if anybody is familiar with Zuma's subscriber 8s. Back in like World War II, Ascent was one of those players who was literally quite literally pooping on adults, challenger players at that, and he was a very young kid. Zuma was calling him, a upcoming prospect. So expecting to see these matches. Sorry, we have a little bit of technical difficulties coming on to it from the side of production, but the coming on, it should be we're coming right back. Is that we're good to go? It should be here. 56-31 update on the score for us, just so we know. But like I do want to mention, leading the board here, Ascent already, and making sure that they keep this lead going into this P3 as well.
Yeah, and again, it's just another hill that the Houston Spartans kind of break through the front side. They find the kills. They're just honestly, I guess they have the confidence to say, hey, we're willing to just fight hills from the front because we have that raw gunning. We know we can beat you, and then they're just going to bully their way in, as we see right here. Number 2 and number 3 moving up through the top side of the mini map, as well as Ascent hits a route. He gets by on the backside of P4. So now you have the numbers game. Wharf goes huge with a big 2-piece, though. Make it a 3-piece, and he is wallowing these players right on up. Big Wharf. I don't even know. He's like a whale right now, a beluga whale. His team able to take control of P4, which is the only money hill I would say on this map.
Yeah, and a big money hill at that. Octane's getting a big early lead position onto this hill, but you see Accent breaking in right immediately, getting this nice hill time for his team, getting that lead and making it even further. Might be able to cross over that 100-point mark here on this hill, but putting in some work, trying to slide in, doesn't get one, but his teammates was able to get that trade. Zavi getting another, making it a 2v2 situation now of 1v1, and he gets that kill. Coasty from the back, though, does spawn in, meaning they do have those spawns, but they're on that back foot coming into P1. It's a chance here for Octane to try and maybe get some more time here.
I really just feel like, especially after that first rotation, Octane needs to kind of pick up a few more lanes. I feel like they've just had the rotation. We've seen them have their players there. And somehow, some way, Houston, they just find a big critical 1v1, and then they just allows 3 players on their whole roster to slip on through. So it's a little scary if you're Octane, because on Vault, there's 2 maps that are very traditional in a sense. There's two hills where you're like, hey, we need to lock down the rotation. We need to make sure no lanes are being left open. And that's P2 and P4. And both times they have left lanes open to the point where the Spartans have accumulated, I think, 20 seconds on each hill, which is why they're in this about 60-point lead right now.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned that time. A lot of the time can be attributed, or a lot of the lost time can be attributed to lost white time, and also just getting those easy breaks, like you mentioned, those lanes that are open. Sometimes it's difficult to really keep track of it, but with those comms and through the ability of making sure that you're counting, that's how you're able to keep track of those lanes and knowing where people are coming. And sometimes Octane does lack here and there on their ability of counting or pointing out those lanes and pointing out those people coming through. But like we mentioned here, Houston Spartans again furthering this lead, now about 80 points ahead. But Octane does break through straight through the front. They get a few kills and they have the Houston Spartans spawning out. Cobra doing everything he can to stay alive in the back, but his teammates are falling all around him. And it is Houston Spartans back in that hill. 30 seconds though, so a lot of time here for Houston Spartans to gain a further lead. But Octane, they have to do something. Either make a decision to break here, or you got to be perfect for the next few hills.
Yeah, Worf noticed that. He's going to double track back. He's like 30 seconds, 25 seconds. I can't let Houston Spartans get that much clean time and further their lead that we've been talking about. But the problem is they decide to chow old just a couple players. It leaves the rotation for number 4 to slip on through. That's Coasty. He goes huge top art. Zerx is now going to turn around because the comms come through. They know that they need to flush out Coasty before they find anything. A trade rolls through in the kill feed. They do just that, but it's just been scattered brain from Octane throughout this whole map. Massacre now hitting a route with the sub. He's going to make his presence known. Snaps on the second, and the man living up to his name, pre-firing every angle. Houston again finding the lane for their subs to go to their work, and it's freeing up opportunities for their ARs like Coasty to get into the power positions. Honestly, Houston doing everything clinical. Map 1.
A clinical map on from Houston's, like you're saying, they're doing everything they can to try and stay alive here and apply that pressure early. Octane though doing a little bit just to try and cross that 100-point mark. It isn't away from them just yet, as long as the what is it, the fat lady sings or something like that. I can't remember. It's one of those things, you know what I mean? But either way, they're trying their hardest to try and stay in live of this, but doing everything they can. They are on this hill early, so a chance here to cross that 100-point mark, and also again chip away at that lead. If you can get a good hold here, you can literally maybe go down 30 seconds, 20 seconds if you get a full 60 on this hill, and it gives you that ability to make this a game.
Yeah, it's going to have to go huge. Cobra is the player to do that. I mean, he finds one, but again, just the sheer pressure that Houston puts on, they're able to find 2 with the help of Coasty, and again, they're in the back lines. And I don't really like how Octane had that setup right there. I mean, they had one person lurking deep. They had one person, I think, playing art, but that person wasn't playing top art, so he wasn't giving any comms, wasn't giving any information to his players around the hill or on the hill. And again, that just allowed Houston to slip on through. And I know Coasty was the one that started that break off with a 2-piece, but they do a great job. As soon as I'm saying this, they recover within about 10 seconds. So this is like the full 60 that we've seen Octane hold so far, and it has brought them back immensely, but they still have 50 seconds to go before they even tie the game, Dash.
And you know, it's almost just a little bit too late. If Octane could have done that whole 2 rotations ago, it maybe would be a different light here. But now we're coming back to this P1, and as I say that, Zerk is here early, but he does get cut down, leaving Houston Spartans back on this time. Work though with a big 2-piece, and Cobra team kill in the position, but Xavi still on that hill, gathering some time for Octane. Houston Spartans though making it a battle back and forth. Cobra wants it, but Accent wants it more. A big kill and a 2-piece combined for the side of Houston Spartans. They hop on that hill, and 20 seconds left on this time. They are going to cross that 200-point mark, so we are reaching closer and closer to the finish line. But Octane, they have to try and do something here, breaking onto this hill, getting a little bit of that scrap time, but P2 ready and waiting for them.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Cobra. He has all eyes on the middle of the map, and his Savvy spawns right on him. So it's crucial that they pick up Vizzy right here as well. They do. That's 3 dead. Great job for Octane to find 3 in the feed. But again, the player to deal with is Coasty, instantly traded by Savvy. Zarks unfortunately falls. He's not able to find much. His teammates pick up the rest of the lanes, though. And again, I don't know, something must have clicked that second time on P4, because Octane showing some better life here on their holds. As soon as I say that, Ascent, the Demon, the 11-year-old, the 12-year-old, does not matter. This man goes huge with 3 on the hill. It doesn't matter if he's even stunned here, Dash. Team kill comes in from Octane. That's not going to help them. Wharf trying to do everything in his power. His teammates spawn out, though. 20 seconds on old. Houston cannot win it here. So, again, you're in this dilemma of your Octane. Do you let these 15 seconds slide, or do you hit the rotation?
And those 15 seconds could be crucial, because even though they don't win it here, 230 seconds is what they might be reaching. So it's only 20 seconds that the Houston Spartans will need to gather left to win this map. But Octane is on this hill, making sure that they can lock it down. They have 50 seconds here and only about I would say a 30-second deficit. So if they can try and to gather most of this time here, but Massacre does get that kill, work with the trade. Coasty making it another white time left. Both teams just trying to see who will take hold.
Yeah, and this is huge. Whoever number, I think it's Zavi, he has to go huge. He went for the rotation to P4. A player from Houston spawned in Art, so this has confused the Spartans in a sense. He does make himself known. Great job. The problem is he's running a sub here, Dash, and like, what are we doing, boys? Nobody was top Art the first 20 seconds of that P3 hill, so you had no coverage if you're Octane. You are not setting your players up in the right positions. You're getting picked off by the West Coast man himself, and from east to west, no matter which way this guy's looking, he will find a kill. 10 seconds left for Houston to win map 1. And again, if you're Zavi, you have to go huge in this P4 hill.
But once again, they don't win it on this hill, and it will come to the news. So it has to be a scrap battle back and forth. Houston Spartans on it early, but work putting in that work once again. Massacre coming in through the side door. Gets a big 2. Coasty gets the 3rd. It's only 1 alive, and Houston Spartans take it. Map 1, 250 to 188.
Because I've seen it evolve in a sense, especially from the comp side of things. A lot of people always tended to hit that A-bomb site. Everybody loves to bang out like you were talking about, but teams have slowly grafted towards B. They have been playing through the middle of the map. It kind of taught some teams some lessons here.
I think it's because of that change that we see towards that A side, and we see it here at Houston Spartans going straight to that A side. I think that change it's allowed on the defensive side, if you know some tactics to be able to stop that quick push. It allows some opportunity for people to go towards that B side. But we see Houston Spartans going straight towards A. They saw it ready and open, but Cobra getting that first pick. They do still have to get into this bomb site, and Coasty and Massacre as well as Vizzy all combining 3-4 dead immediately, making sure they lock down that bomb site. If they aren't able to get in soon enough, they just made sure it happened and weren't able to actually lock it down. Then that just showed Houston Spartans able to get in there, like showing that dominance, throwing those nades and getting in there quick, got that bomb down.
No, yeah, and that's the thing about Houston. I feel like based off how map 1 went for them, again, they're going to play bully ball. They're going to love the A site. It's going to be kind of like, what is it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So right now, I feel like that's what we're going to see from them. It's really about Octane, what they can find. And I like this initial break. They're going to send 2 towards P2. They're going to try and catch somebody lacking through both sides of the middle of the map. And it's Wharf who somehow gets away with his life right there. I think it was down to half HP. But again, everybody falls around him. Cobra's the last one alive. They have spotted him. And Bomb is not down in his favor.
I mean, I'm not sure if they spotted him. They definitely do now with him getting that kill, but I mean, he just completely switched the map and now is left alone. Like you said, does find 2, so his inability to kind of get lost here. Maybe is able to find another. Does spot him out a couple of shots towards him, but Vizzy backing up, playing his life. He understands his ability. It was in a spot there to maybe get cut down, but plays it well to back up, making sure that they don't get that bomb. I don't know if they know where bomb is down though.
No, they do. Coasty was sitting on it. Yeah, Coasty was sitting here. He knows bomb is here, which is why I was like, Vizzy, what are we doing? He's like challenging P2. I know he's playing for info, but it's just not helping his teammate if he gets picked off. He doesn't though. Somehow he did an awkward look at the wall though. And if you're Cobra, you have timing here on Coasty. He can make something. 13 seconds left. He saw the gun and the snap comes in, but it's not quick enough. Houston Spartans. I mean, Vizzy somehow rallies to his teammate just in time.
I mean, talk about literal timing. If Vizzy was still out and about trying to, it was just even a second later, right there, jumping down on that elevator, I feel like it's a possibility for us to go from that being a 4v1 to a 1v4 rather quickly for an ace for Massacre. But I mean, sorry for Vizzy, but or sorry, no, was it who was it on the side? Cobra, sorry, Cobra. But that was dirty work for them. It was very close, but 2-0 taking that lead. We'll see what they go with this bomb site here.
And again, it looks like Houston just opting to hit the A site. They're they're flooding the middle of the map, I think. Yeah. So Cobra has to stay alive here because he should sense that the pressure's through mid. Zerg's able to find the first kill, but Massacre slips through. That's going to even things up, and Vizzy in the kill feed as well, but he gets traded out. They're in the B bomb site. So again, I like the side of Houston. They're like, hey, we show a presence here for round 1. Round 2, we're going to do a complete different thing, and it threw Octane for a loop right there.
Yeah, I think that they showed a little bit of presence at that A side, threw them for that loop, right? And they get that bomb down quick over on that B side. But Savvy with the kill, making it a 1v2 situation. Accent does have the bomb down, so he has the benefit of maybe some little checks here and there. But Savvy already on that defuse. Accent though, he gets one that plays it perfect, backs away. All he has to do is play the time and making sure that he doesn't hop on. And beautiful from the young prodigy himself. 3-0 for Houston Spartans. Good win.
Saying clinical. I mean, hey, he did a good job of just playing his life. I will say it probably came from like the comms that were given off his teammate's death. So I don't know who his teammate was, but I know he tried to hit a timing through top zip. And it was interesting because Octane had the buddy system going on up there. Both teammates were sitting up there. They were waiting for a kill. And I think it was still like 30 seconds left. So nobody moved. And I get it. You're close to the B bomb. So you have time to sit and wait for Houston to make a mistake. But if you're Ascent, they're like, hey, those two were top zip. I can just run around, maybe hit some timing there. And I'm expecting this. And look at this. Octane running it down their throat. War finding the first blood. A bomb site should be theirs. But Ascent through the middle of the map finds another Coasty, bringing people down off of a heady. Savvy last one alive. And guess what? You see him and it doesn't even matter. The Spartans clean house.
I mean, that was just pure dominance that round. You said it. Ascent just ran straight down the middle of the map, gets a big blood, or I'm sorry, not even a blood, just a big kill, and then comes straight down, getting that next finishing the rest of them off in the last in the bomb site. That was just a great round of showing that they're just running this map, running it down. 4-0 for the side of Houston Spartans. Got to see Octane try and win this defense here. It'll start with the defense. You got to just lock down that bomb site, making sure that they can't get it planted. But
and the problem is they haven't been hitting things as like a 4. Like they've just been spreading the map, playing for information. They've been getting first blooded. Zavy just throwing his life right here. And again, there's no team chow right there. So Zavy, he's running that. I know the stun may hit, but again, nobody's there to back it up. And again, Houston know they can win these gunfights. So again, we've talked about it time and time again. They're running it down your throat. Another 1v1. Chow Cobra's last one alive. He's been the only one that has produced something, and it's been in these 1v4s.
And we'll see it here. 1v4 situation. Once again, will he be able to find anything? Almost gets a blood, but does get cut down. Almost. They just have to start. It just starts with one. Like I said, it really does just start with one. Kind of slow down the tempo here. I really will like to back up or piggyback on what you mentioned. Those team chows are the most important here. It really does start in those comms, right? What you're saying in the comms, how you're chowing, are you 3-2-1ing? Those little things you may think that aren't important, but even the teams like Omid, they're focusing on. They're making sure are said. So we got to start here. Got to lock in this attacking round. We'll see where they'll go with that bomb side. It looks like they're trying to just run it down straight to straight to this A side.
Oh, but Massacre's here. And again, this is what I've been noticing from Octane. They haven't been taking these boat routes. A team kill comes in through the kill feed. So that's not going to help you because, again, that's now a 3v2 situation going the way of Octane. Or a Houston, Vizzy, RC, that connects. Back, Hosty, backs down Cobra. And again, you have these players pinned. If you're Houston, Massacre using his RCXD, Battle bots, I don't know what's going on. Cobra just ran past somebody. Didn't even know that. And in a 1v2, he's looking all over like, hey, I need some help, boys.
And he
So if you're Octane, you got some sign of life. It's all about defense, though, for me. Whoever loses, and we're starting off with a team kill. So this is awesome if we're Octane Esports. Yeah, we talk about motivation, we talk about momentum. We're already starting out negative, man. I'm checked.
I mean, the nade does not help for sure, but we're coming onto this hill, attacking already Houston Spartans onto this A side. They're trying to gather this first tick, but Octane doing a good job of just slowing them down, making sure that they're keeping them off this hill for as long as possible. But we have both of these hills just getting hit, both sides. A big 3 dead for the side of Houston Spartans. Fizzy surprised to even get that kill. It just landed right in his hand. And they're trying to apply some pressure, pushing up on that map, getting a nice little tick on a point for the side of Houston Spartans.
Yeah, they're just playing for map presence right now. They got 2 people fiddling towards that B side of things, and it's just gonna slow things down if you're Octane. I mean, for Houston, you're not gonna have a lot of quick ticks on A, but the thing is, you're getting a lot of information. You're layering the map. It's making it harder for Octane to get out of their spawn and honestly get into these power positions. And Vizzy, he's just snapping, bro. I love it. Anytime I watch him, he's just doing what he needs to do best. Somehow turns around at the right time. Zerx, he's gonna completely forget about Vizzy. This is going to allow what we've seen in map 1, a sub to get through, a sub to leak through, make a huge play. Massacre as well. He's 6-2 to start off map 3, and these subs have come to fry. I think Houston's running a 3 sub like kind of team right now, so it's honestly working for them on this map.
I think this map is, if you run it down and you run it down well, if you can control the lanes that are out there, you can definitely run a 3 map or a 3 sub meta on this map for sure, as long as your AR is doing what he can. Coasty, we do see a donut going on right now, but I think that he may be their AR, but the SMGs are just doing everything they need. Vizzy may have the AR out here as well, so it could be fine, but I'm not. Or yeah, it looks like Coasty has the AR out, so one of them, Vizzy has the SMG out. So yeah, Coasty, they don't even need the AR presence. The SMGs are just running the map, doing everything they please, and they took that A point, trying to make progress towards its B points, but only 5 lives remaining for the side of Octane, and Houston Spartans are just deciding to take pressure on this map.
The Octane is literally spawning on P4, and there's somebody top P4 just watching them run right underneath them. And it's a little interesting to see this blue team kind of take their approach. They're more worried about trying to get out of spawn instead of keeping their spawn clean. I know sometimes it's situational on control, but if you want to have a clean map, if you want to have a clean round and feel good about yourself, the first thing to do is keep your spawn clean. Time and time again,
Absolutely.
that is the biggest issue for a lot of teams, is when they're just letting these players lurk in there. And I feel like Octane have just not really made an attempt, and they haven't made like team pushes like we said in that map 2. They haven't done anything to try and flush anybody out, so it was kind of just like shooting fish in a barrel right there.
I think what I'll mention about exactly what you said. That player, it will always happen on a control map. It's just how the game plays, where someone is inside of your spawn and they're playing ratty, they're lurking around, they're getting those kills. You have to flush that player out, and you have to flush that player out as a team. That's where a lot of teams kind of forget, and that's what I mentioned again. As control, it is a team game mode. No matter how many lives you're losing, you have to play that map as a team. So when a player is inside of your spawn, flush them out. Go put 2 players on him, 3 players on it if you have to. If that guy is killing everybody, if you're all dying, you can't get out, kill him, get him out, and then move forward, progress after. So we see Houston Spartans taking that big map, taking that round 1. We'll see if Octane will be able to do the same.
And they're starting out by hitting A. They're not looking at top cat. Massacre's running around. He's 10-6. Vizzy's 10-5. Coasty's the only one that's really having a bad map. But Octane find a nice 3-4 dead right there. They're still chugging along on A. This has been a good start to an offensive round. And you deal with a couple subs. You deal with a couple slay-heavy players. Look how clean the map will go for. But Coasty's saying, no. I will never have a bad map, my friend. Able to rip 2 off. Cobra, last one alive, still keeping the presence alive for Octane here today.
trying to do everything he can to keep the hill alive as well, but Octane does secure that hill, and it does become a one hill map for this for Octane. They are just trying to get onto this side. They do slide on for just a moment, but Houston Spartans doing everything they can to keep them off. Massacre is inside of their spawn, lurking around just a little bit, but it isn't going to try. He's going to try to be a little bit of a nuisance, and Accent doing the same, lurking on the other end of the map. But we'll see if Octane will be able to try and get onto this hill in some way.
Yeah, they have two players top art. This is going to be crucial for them to stay alive as long as possible. I think it's Cobra. He slips through on time, but he gets dealt with by Ascent. And again, this is going to draw those players out of art. If you're Octane, it's not going to be good. Your players aren't winning 1v1s on the other side of the maps. So now you fall. Savvy stays alive just a little bit. The pre-fire doesn't roll through. Zerx is just being a nuisance as well. He's 13-11, stepping it up on a 3 streak. Can he find the 4th? He gets taken down. That's critical. You have one tick done at B, though. They're not opting to stack this, though. They could have had a second one if it was a 3-man stack, and I don't necessarily like this because now you're leaving a lot of opportunity to grow. That's 3 dead for the Houston Spartans. Coasty taking the outer side of the map. Make it 4 for him. This man having a phenomenal map 4, or map 3. I don't even know what I'm talking about, and he's only 12-14. At least it's felt phenomenal.
I mean, he's been on a streak since I mentioned it. He had a donut and now is almost even. He's doing a great job applying that pressure on the map and is at a perfect time, keeping them off of that hill. Like you said, they should have gone for that stack. They had 3 people, 1 person on the hill and 2 people around it watching the angles. While you're watching, just step onto that hill and that time goes down a little bit quicker. It could have been a round win for Octane, but instead now we're in a reset situation. But only 5 lives remaining for Houston Spartans and 53 seconds left. So Octane, they need to work this map together. They need to make some decisions and try and get onto this hill.
Yeah, well, speaking of making decisions, they only got 6 lives as well, so they need to be playing carefully. Both teams opting to do the S&D route. They're going to go ahead. Oh, big win by Savvy Top Cat. I don't know how he won that, but he did. Making it 6-2 in lives. They're going to hop on the point, and I like this. Everybody spread thin. Ascent just ran by somebody somehow. Coasty's going to buy some time for him. Coasty falls. Ascent now making himself known, but too many guns to deal with. So I talked about Octane not hopping on to the point right there at that specific time. It still worked out for them. They slowed down the pace. And different than that map too, man, when they were just getting caught up in the Houston Spartans gunplay, they were like, no, we're going to make you play at our pace now.
Yeah, and they quickly had to make that switch to change that pace. You see Coasty here, he was almost in control of the pace, but they do everything. They did what they needed to do to make sure that they win that round. Now a 1-1 situation for Octane. They have a chance here to try and take this lead. They saw what Houston Spartans did in the previous offensive round. They just have to make sure that they don't let them replicate that. But another round where we're starting off with the team kill. I mean, I don't know.
What's going on, Dash? I don't know what's going on because that was a knife, and I don't know. Maybe he had something out for him. Worf, that seemed a little bit deliberate. Cobra, I know you're a snake, my guy, but just calm down. And you guys are also seeing it as well. There is no scoreboard. All you have to do is, if you want to fix this for future people that get VOD, just hit tab and tab right back out again. That will fix it. It will show the scoreboard. But we're hopping into this round. I think it's Zavy. He's just lurking in spawn. But everybody from the side of Houston, they just say, F it, we're running right straight forward.
Yeah, I mean they're just running straight for it, and they're trying to get onto this or keep them off of this hill. We got it fixed up very quickly. There we go. But we're getting back into this. We see 23-21 in lives. Octane is doing a good job of keeping the lives in their favor. We see Massacre with a big 2-piece though there, slowing down the side of Octane on this defense. Only 27 seconds though, so they have to get on this hill. Will they stop them? Will they slow them down? You just have 1 player on this time. If you cut him down, then you may be able to slow down this pace and take this win here.
Yeah, Vizzy's hitting her out though. Vizzy may go huge. His players fall on the hill. That's not going to help you. So Ascent makes himself known. Vizzy trying to get some team shots in. He does follow up with 1 kill. So this is huge with the side of Houston. And again, if you're Xavi, you've taken a route. You've tried to find something off spawn. Unfortunately, you're only able to find 1, 2. The second tick rolls through. I don't even know what I'm saying. Houston, in the nick of time, get the 3rd tick. Extra minute awarded. Lives are almost even. But if you're Houston, you're down 2. So you need to still play carefully, and I think Coasty knows. Coasty somehow knows. Listen, this man will see a fly in the great desert of Sahara.
Yeah, that was a great spot there for Coasty getting that kill. It's a great pick for the side of Houston Spartans, but they still do have to get onto this hill, and Coasty does just that. Man of his word, making sure that it happens on this map. Tick is slowly leading away, but Zerx, though, with that stun, knows exactly where he is and is able to get that kill. Vizzy trying to slow them down once more. 1 player left on that hill, but we'll see number 3, and that's cutting them down on that hill as well. They're trying to step away from this time more and more. Massacre does get 1, but does get cut down, and it's just up to 1, I believe. Coasty, the closest to the hill, to be able to stop this time from ticking down.
Yeah, it's just a flurry of trades roll through, and now you're left with no respawns. So if you're the side of Houston, you're now in the time situation. You have to touch, but again, it's 5v3 in the lives. Number 2 has to make a play through the middle of the map. That's Massacre. He's able to find 1. Now, if they can find anything else off this, Coasty falls. Nothing else will come from this. 10 seconds left. Your player in mid-map falls. Savvy, he knows where the last player is. All eyes forward. And Octane, somehow, some way, are finding some life here. Dash 2, they ripped 2 rounds off, and it's 2-1 in control. Things are getting spicy.
I mean, somebody called the script inside a chat, said that Octane's going for a reverse sweep. So I mean, hey, this is looking very, very likely. It's looking close like it. It does start with 1, and it starts with 1 map. We have a 2-1 lead here for Houston Spartans, and they have an attacking around ahead of them. They've done it once already. Do you think they're going to be able to do it again?
I don't know. I'm excited to see if they can. But if you're Houston, I know you won your first defensive round, so we'll see if they can replicate that. And it's really just been Octane finding that offensive win. That's really what it comes down to on this map. Whatever team can find that's going to have good start. But Houston, talking about a break off a good start, Ascent ripping 2. That's going to keep things in the driver's seat for the Spartans. They know what they want to do. They're spawning these guys on the top side of the minimap. 1 by 1, you all fall, and the Spartans go huge with 300 of them say, no, you shall not pass. Look at them. They are so deep. Busy. Ripping off another double piece, and now you're just living in their spawn, bro. Rent-free.
Yeah, he's doing everything inside of their spawn. Still alive with a 4 streak. He's almost, I think, about to get another 2 spawning right in front of him. That's insane. Maybe we'll get a Vizzy Pop in just a second, but he's still alive, making that a 6 streak, going crazy in their spawn. They cannot cut this man.
He's on an 8.
Down.
Get Vizzy's POV right now. Get the man's POV. I don't care about anybody else. It needs to be Vizzy. He's on 8. He now has to track back. This is a generational run. Dash, I've only seen somebody get up to 13 before. I want to see if he can break it. Production, get Vizzy's POV.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he does get cut down.
It's not worth it anymore.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to even make it past. He was in a awkward spot. They were spawning out inside of that deep left corner over by P2, and he was just kind of lurking over. So they do get out of that trap, but by God, Vizzy does everything to stop that round. That was all a Vizzy round.
That was
it. That was a Vizzy round.
You can't say anything else, bro. All right, we're heading to round 5. Somebody called it in the chat. We'll see if the script is right. But again, man of the evening, Bizzy. Let me tell you, this man is evil, diabolical. I don't even know what Vizzy means.
we get it a nice little replay inside of the kill cam. I'm glad to get this POV montage version. You know what I'm saying? Last second kill cam, best play of the game. That's an incredible round for the side of Houston Spartans, and they're making it interesting. It was a 2-1 situation maybe about 45 seconds ago, and now we're at a 2-2. Round 5 has been called in chat, and we have an Octane win called. So we'll see if we have it coming to fruition here with Coasty getting that first blood. This time, not a team kill for either side, but is a kill on the side of Octane, and that it make that accent as well, getting a second kill. Massacre getting a third, a big 3 dead for the side of Octane, but responding right back is Zerk Workins and Xavi. So they're slowing them down on this attacking round, trying to get onto this hill, but they're already kind of at a deficit here as Massacre is in extent of running it down once again.
Yeah, so again, it's gonna go back to what we've kind of mentioned before. If Octane can keep these players out of their spawn, I feel like it's gonna be a good round for them. The problem is you can't really, you have to get more than out of your spawn. You have to keep that clean as well as get progress. That's gonna be huge. Wharf able to get a nice double kill, able to get a nice triple kill. Wharf is on a 4 spree here. That's gonna be the go. That's gonna be the green light. They're gonna stack this. The second tick will probably roll through. The problem is the timings may be a little bit messed off. They need to look at all different angles. Cobra's going to deliver a big 2-piece. And now if you Zavi's watching Top Cat, another 3 dead for this Octane team. A big swing right here. Extra minute rewarded. They flip the lives going in their favor.
Yeah, and that was a big stack for the side of Octane. They utilized what we had mentioned before, trying to make sure that you use your space properly and taking that hill. Even if you are just holding down some lanes, you can hold it down from the hill, and Octane do just that. 17 to 16 in lives.
Look at number 7.
Number 7.
Oh, he got spotted. I was going to say, if you guys are watching the minimap, I don't mean to cut you off, Dash, but he made a route for the century, and his teammates were relying on it. But hey, look at that. They find a 3 dead. They're going to now stack this again, just like they did on that A site. The second tick might come through, but it's Massacre who's just been lurking the whole time. 1, 2, quick snap. Can he find the third? Put it in the books, man.
He gets a big 3-piece, and that is something that's going to slow down the entire momentum for them. They have to somehow make it back onto this hill with only 9 lives remaining. I'm sorry, but it is only 11 for the side of Houston Spartans, and close to a minute left remaining. So it is up to Octane to set the momentum of this map and try and see if they can come out on top.
And it's going to be up to Cobra. He found his way into top art. He makes a big kill. He's just looking back, though. Everybody from the side of Houston, they spawn P4. They're in. 2 kills go through for the side of Octane, though. They have the second tick. Number 1's going to have to track back again, but can it be enough? Vizzy has the chow point, finds one, isn't able to find. He didn't even find the first. Octane, map 3 is theirs.
Great. That was a great story that we have in front of us, and we're waiting to see how it unfolds. Moving into this hard point, we come back straight into some U18 action. Houston Spartans versus Octane with a big 3-piece for the side of Houston Spartans. We have a bit of a colored going a little bit back and forth, team A, team B vibe. So, don't get too confused, guys, but the names are still correct. But Houston Spartans starting off slow here. We had them up front inside of the first hard point. Now we see Octane starting it off, taking this P1, getting some time, chipping it away at it. Gonna get about 30 seconds from this P1, but we have to focus on rotations for new, and work is already here.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Coasty opting to do the AR, so they're not going to pull out 3 subs on this map. They're sticking with their 3 sub meta with the 1 AR. Always got to have one, but look, Houston Spartans is going to be on the left side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be the blue arrows. Octane going to be the red arrows on the minimap. They are on the right side of the screen if you're looking at it in the sense of scoreboards. So yes, Octane is starting out slow. Houston Spartans take 27 seconds off that P1. Honestly, good job out of them because, again, I know I talked about this map 1, but P1's always a contest fest.
Always, it's going back and forth here. We see Houston Spartans starting it off early, getting this lead. It is, sorry, apologies, it is swapped. Oh yes, we're getting that switched here. There we go. So we have it proper now. You guys can probably see it. So we have Houston Spartans taking this lead. They are on this hill just a little bit early. Like we mentioned, they had a bit of a lead in that P1, but they were already there early for this P2. We're going for this P3 here, the hill though, and they are going to be on the back foot, as Houston Spartans are already, taking the 60-point lead, but Octane is already there. Houston Spartans does get the quick kills, and they're ready for this hill to pop.
They are here. Octane, again, sticking to their roots, just like map 1. They're on the rotation for the important hills. Skyline, in my sense, it's the P3, P4 chain dash. How many times have we seen a big 120-point swing just off of teams kind of holding these two hills? And it's very easy to anchor for negs. But as soon as I'm saying this, 2 pieces going down for both teams. Massacre starting his team off on top, though, as the new hill pops. You're here. Rotations roll through. Ascent, he's looking all over the place, like, where's everybody going? But it's Coasty, the AR, picking 2 off in the feed. Octane, though, on the flip side, they're getting grindy. They're getting mixy through the middle of the map here, Dash.
And they're keeping this lead way ahead, about to cross that 100-point mark in just a moment, but they have to do it on this next hill. We will see them trying to get on this hill early, but we have Octane ready and waiting.
Oh, no,
I believe that is Cobra in a position on the right side, yes, for to get one. Maybe is able to get the second, but does get cut down as Accent putting those bullets out in long range with that SMG. A big 2-piece for Xavi and making that 3 for the side of Octane, and it's going to allow them to gather some time here, try and chip away at this lead just a little bit more. But Accent trying to do what he can from the left side. They're not going to be able to find anything though, but Vizzy helping him out, trying to see if they can break in, which they do right from the front, and they get that hill once again, trying to get that lead, but Octane still making it scrappy.
It's going to be hard for this blue team, or in a sense, if you're looking at the arrows, Octane, it's going to be hard for them. Cobra's having a slow map after the first set of rotations. He's already 4-11, so that's really not what you want to see from a guy that runs a sub. And Xavi, on the flip side, he, after looking back, map 1, the man was, I think, one of the only players that had 30 kills in that map. So he went huge for his team, even though they lost that vault hardpoint. He's going to have to go huge again. He just ripped off like a double piece not too long ago, so he's going to be the spark. But again, you have to look towards somebody else on your team, because it cannot be a one-man wrecking crew. Somehow Xavi wins that. Ascent ripping off 2 of his own though. And again, this is where Octane need to turn up the heat. We saw in that vault hard point, they had a slow first rotations. It's really just like, hey, we need to pick up the pace. We need to go in on a skyline that's going to be like full throttle. It needs to be 100% the whole time.
Absolutely, they have to pick up the pace for sure. We need to see that momentum switch like we did inside of that the later half of that first hard point. We need to see it earlier on in this hard point here now if we want Octane. If Octane wants to take this win and take us to a map 5, they are behind, so they have to try and fight back, not only in a sense of the match or the series, but also in this round. So, or in this map, so they have to try and make sure that they put it all on the map here in order to take us further. They do try and keep a little bit of that time there for that P2, but Houston Spartans once again able to break in further in their lead just a little bit more. Work though with another team kill. Unfortunate with that nade. It does slow them down just a little bit, but Cobra able to break in from the back, does get cut down. Vizzy on another 4 streak, running it down with this SMG, and we'll see if he can just keep it going, getting another for sure.
I'm telling you right now, Octane's going to have problems if they are not able to get complete setups. Like the way they are positioning themselves, especially on that P2 hill, I don't know. Dude, I just don't like it. You had somebody back steps. I believe it was either Xavi or Cirques, and they were just watching that top cat doorway into P2 into that P2 hill. If you're playing back steps, you need to be watching outer piano, and nobody was doing that. That allowed Houston to hop right on in. I know they found a couple kills if you're Octane, but again, it's just a flurry of trades for Houston, and they get the break with around 30 seconds. So if you're Octane, again, I can't stress it enough because that was the problem in map 1. Setups. Put yourself in the right lines of fire and you'll find a big 2-piece. Just everybody needs to stay rooted. Do not overchild, do not overlook. And right now, it's just the thing that I'm noticing. They need to fix it quick.
I think that's, it comes with age and the experience, and we do have a bunch of young guns. All right, we are dealing with U18ers, so they do most of the time will overchild, will overlook and just chow for no reason, because they're feeling it, and that's something that a lot of times, it just takes with time trying to learn, and I think that through these matches they'll learn that ability much faster, and so you do mention that perfectly, just overchilling for when you're in positions that you can keep. They'll see that little bit of VOD work. Busy though, just sliding through, getting that big 2-piece. That's not something that you can change. That Gunny would just clear in day. He slid in, getting 2-piece after 2-piece. Busy doing everything he can for the side of Houston Spartans.
Yeah, and he's put his team up all by 60. Might as well say 70. Savvy trying to chow late on time for 20 seconds. But again, if you're Octane, you have found zero success in this hard point alone. It has been Houston all dang day. Fizzy with the turn, and I can't say enough. He has done phenomenal work. He's only 20-14. The player we should be praising is Ascent. The man is 29-17. He's been the route runner. He's been the wrecking ball, the chaos crew for the side of the Spartans. Let me tell you, Leonidas is in his bloodline.
I mean, that kid, like I said, he runs it down. He's a run and gun maniac. As I mentioned, he was one of the kids, in the Zoo Mafia subscriber race that was just going crazy at a very, very young age. So I'm expecting him to show lights of stardom early on throughout his time here. So we'll see how he continues to grow and learn here. But as you said, 31-17, almost double positive on this map here. Map 4 streak for 2 players on the side of Houston Spartans, almost nearing that 250 point mark as we get closer and closer to the end of this map here.
Boy, it's too many people trying to fit through the doorway. It's only one person per entry. Now, if you're Massacre, you're picking up the you're picking up the under route. If you're Massacre, you're just staying there. He has to go off because his teammates do fall. And again, if you're Octane, it's really just been the same old story every respawn. They find a clean 3 dead. They get a rotation. They get a setup. They get broken. They keep a hill mixy for like 20 seconds. But again, when it reaches that 30-second hold on a hill, or like 25 seconds, it really is just time for Houston to get that break, and then they're just playing keep away off time. Wharf, though. 3-piece to his name, and let me tell you, this may be the kickstart that we saw similar to map 1. Wharf saying, boys, let's finally get going.
And it's a great kickstart for the side of Octane. The work, putting in a big 4-piece for the side of Octane, putting in some work, but he just has to do that earlier on in order for this to help their squad. 236, closing to nearing that 250 point mark. And as I say that, you look at the kill feed, and it was just a 4 dead, all going back to the lobby, respawning, and we have Houston Spartans on this kitchen hill already, 2 seconds nearing the end, and we have it. It's obviously switched on the scoreboard, but 250 to 146. Houston